I just got done filming some stuff with the Russian film crew, and I logged on and see the breaking news that Donald Trump has fired H.R. McMaster as National Security Advisor and brought in John Bolton. I'm not surprised. I told you guys this was going to happen some time back. Donald Trump is very likely going to try to bring a man into the administration named John Bolton. During the Bush administration, Bolton was the UN ambassador to the United Nations. He's kind of like Nikki Haley is today. And it's possible that what Donald Trump will do is fire H.R. McMaster and bring Bolton in as his national security advisor. But I'm telling you, in our lifetimes, there has never been a man who has pushed for war as frequently or as passionately as John Bolton. Back in 1998, Bolton had a huge hand in crafting the plans to go to war with Iraq. And Bolton has pushed non-stop since 2001 for war with Iran, over and over and over. Every 2 years he comes out and says, they're just months away from developing nuclear weapons. They're going to kill us all. We have to strike them now. Okay, that's John Bolton. This is John Bolton who has been pushing Trump like crazy to go to war with North Korea. But funny thing is, John Bolton was pushing for war with North Korea long before Trump came along. You guys wonder, why is Trump after North Korea? Well, really, he's not. It's not about Donald Trump. It's about the people who control Donald Trump. They're taking all of these old agendas that they've had for a long time, incomplete missions. They're bringing the old team back in, installing them, marginalizing Trump, and carrying out the plans. I talked about John Bolton actually before Donald Trump actually took office and what a problem it was. And I pointed out back in November, December of 2016 that Donald Trump was trying to bring John Bolton into his administration. But at the time, the positions that he was considering Bolton for would have required Senate confirmation. And there's no chance that the Senate would confirm Bolton because he's such a horrible, horrible human being. Terrible. And so what Trump has done is he's brought him in as National Security Advisor, and that does not require confirmation by the Senate. So Bolton is in. I cannot express the depth of my disgust with this decision. Donald Trump supporters have got to decide where they stand. Either you stand with the United States Constitution, with the innocent American people that are going to be slaughtered by the war that Trump is moving us toward, or you can choose to stand with Donald Trump. Those of you who say, oh, he's a great guy, he's doing this great stuff for America. No, he's not. And anytime I speak out against Trump, I lose tons of subscribers. I don't care. I'm not in this for numbers of views or subscribers. I don't care about popularity. I care about telling you the truth. And that's exactly what I've done. I have told you the truth, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with me or not. I have told you the facts, and I've been doing this since before the election. I told you in video after video after video back in late 2016 that Donald Trump was going to push for war. I told you then that Donald Trump is not truly a nationalist. He is a globalist, and you are going to see Donald Trump get in there, not drain the swamp, but get in and be completely manipulated by the globalists into a global war. We know this because the globalists, the New World Order, they will go after anybody that they can. It doesn't matter which guy they get into office. If they got Hillary in, we were going to have war with Russia probably sooner than the war we're going to have with Russia under Donald Trump. But make no mistake, World War III is what these maniacs are after. And those of you, I don't know if any of you have been around long enough to remember this, but back in 2013, 2014, I did a ton of videos about the situation in Syria, explaining that really this was just a way of getting into war with Iran. Fortunately, Vladimir Putin came in, he saw that too. He knew that this mess in Syria under Obama was the globalists trying to get into war with Iran. That's what it was all about. The oil corporations wanted to go in there. And these are all Rothschild affiliates, all part of this Rothschild syndicate. And so during the 2016 campaign, we heard time and time again Hillary Clinton saying we need to put in a no-fly zone, declare a no-fly zone over Syria, which meant that the Russian jets that were there at the request and the invitation and approval of the Syrian government, the Russian jets that were there bombing ISIS that the United States was supporting, that the CIA was coordinating, a no-fly zone would mean that United States jets would fly into Syrian airspace and or use surface-to-air missiles or cruise missiles, whatever, and bring down Russian jets. It would be a direct act of war. That's what Hillary Clinton was calling for. It was horrifying, absolutely horrifying. Direct war with Russia is what she was after. So we say, well, Donald Trump, let's take a chance on him. Actually, I think we had plenty of options other than Trump, but once you get down to the two main people, clearly Trump is less of a problem than Hillary when it comes to direct war with Russia. But that does not mean that Donald Trump is his own man. Donald Trump gets in there and he's doing exactly what I said would happen. He is falling for all of the globalist lies. His administration is stacked with the same neocons, the same mentality, the same globalist ideologies, the same Zionist warmongers that infested the administration of George W. Bush. John Bolton has been calling for war with Iran for years. In fact, Bolton is one of the primary neocons, and I'm going to call him a Ziocon because it's a conflation of Zionism and neoconservatism. These Ziocons, like John Bolton, they want war on behalf of Israel, on behalf of the New World Order. And so Bolton was one of those guys who pressed really, really hard for war with Iraq. He's one of those who really pushed the false CIA data justifying intervening in Iraq. So here we are, years later, John Bolton, the guy who has repeatedly called for war with Iran for the last decade and a half, he's going to get it. The reason that Donald Trump is bringing in John Bolton is because exactly what I've been telling you since 2016. Donald Trump intends to go to war with Iran. It's part of his psychological makeup. Donald Trump believes that, rightly so, he believes that the presidents who have the greatest legacies, or at least those that are remembered the most, are the presidents who were in office during times of great war. You've heard of FDR. Why? Because FDR was elected 4 times. This is before they had the 2-term limit. Elected 4 times as president, and he presided over the period of time of World War II. You all have heard of Winston Churchill. Why? Well, because he was the guy leading the British during World War II. We know about these presidents largely because of their wartime activities. And Donald Trump wants to be remembered. He cares so deeply about being remembered. No, I don't think anyone has ever been elected to the presidency who cared more about, if he could have a statue made of himself and put into the National Mall there in Washington, D.C., to go along with Lincoln and the Washington Monument and all the others, I'm sure he would do it. He wants war with Iran. How Trump supporters at this point, I mean this in the most sincere way, I cannot fathom how anyone cannot see what Donald Trump is doing. He is pushing for war with Iran. This is so basic. This is so simple. How can you support this? How can you people who claim to be America first, make America great again, how can you possibly support this? You guys are doing exactly what I what I said was going to happen before the Trump had taken office in January of 2017. I said he's not going to pursue Hillary Clinton. He's going to talk about it. It's not going to happen. And I said, you people who are the most diehard Trump people, you're going to make excuses to justify it. And sure enough, one after another, all these people that were at the campaigns holding up signs and screaming, lock her up, lock her up. As soon as Donald Trump said, she's irrelevant, what did they say? We really don't need to go after Hillary. What? It doesn't matter how many promises that Donald Trump has broken. I mean, out there at these campaign rallies, tens of thousands of people showing up. And when Donald Trump would give the line, we have no business in Syria, Barack Obama is wrong, let's get out of Syria, get the troops out of there, we don't need to be in Syria. Yeah, get out of Syria. But as soon as Donald Trump bombed Syria and increased American troop levels, what happened? What happened to the people that were out there cheering that we should get out of Syria? Suddenly they go silent. Yeah, maybe it's not that big of a deal that we're in Syria. Those of you who during the campaign were saying, no war, no more wars, no more nation building, no more foreign intervention, guaranteed a bunch of you are going to turn around here and support Donald Trump's war with Iran. How dare you? How dare you people? What a betrayal to America. Complete, utter betrayal. I am independent. I don't support one party. I'm primarily Republican at heart. I'm paleo-Republican. I believe in the Republican Party that used to exist, the American system of law that said you don't intermeddle in the internal affairs of other nations. And yet here's Donald Trump putting the CIA in charge of the State Department. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Absolutely insane. And it's for the purpose of war with Iran. So will I lose subscribers because I'm saying this? Absolutely I will. Will I have views go down? Yes, I will. Will people rescind their donations through Patreon and PayPal? Absolutely. I'm going to lose money because I'm saying this. I don't care. Because the lives of my children are worth far more than your damn donations. I don't care. What I care about is that my country does the right thing. And war with Iran is not the right thing. That's what John Bolton is there to do, to be a cheerleader for this war. Donald Trump does not control his administration. He doesn't. Did he drain the swamp? I don't know. Yeah, he drained the swamp, I guess, if you don't consider Goldman Sachs bankers to be swamp monsters, because his administration is jam-packed with them. Yeah, he drained the swamp if, maybe putting the CIA in charge of the State Department, thus giving the Council on Foreign Relations, which is controlled by the New World Order, Rothschild network. Yeah, he totally turned U.S. foreign policy over to them. You guys that are diehard Trump supporters say, oh no, he's making America great again. Yeah, show me how. How is putting the CIA in charge of our foreign policy making America great again? How is putting John Bolton in? Go to Google, type in John Bolton Zionist, John Bolton warmonger, see what you find. Page after page after page, not just a couple people, but universally, everybody, Republican and Democrat, acknowledge that this guy is a bloodthirsty bastard. And Donald Trump just put him in as national security advisor. Is that draining the swamp? Sometimes, I'm starting to think that these people, these Trump cultists, aren't even real people because they are so devoid. In fact, I think I have seen so much of this nastiness from the people claiming they're Trump supporters. Anybody with the foggiest bit of conscience at this point would stop saying, I know what Donald Trump said back in 2016 when he was running for president, but I look at his actions now, his push for gun control, all of this stuff. Donald Trump is not actually doing a damn thing he said he was going to do. He's not doing it. He's doing the exact opposite. He has given the globalists the keys to the front door of the White House. He has put them in charge of U.S. foreign policy. War with Iran is coming. And while I'm going to lose some people now, I don't much care, because when the drums of war start pounding and it becomes inevitable that we're going to war with Iran, which will bring in Syria, which will bring in Russia, which will kick off World War III, you people are going to be turning to me for your information, because you will remember that from the very beginning, everything I said about Trump came to pass. Some of you will just go stick your heads in the sand, not want to see what really happened, and not admit to yourselves that Trump was never the guy you actually thought he was, that he's actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. But some of you who unsubscribe now, you'll be back. That is, if I still have a channel, because once I start speaking out against Iran during the build-up to war, they're going to start purging channels like mine that speak out against the war. Because they'll say the kind of things that were said about me during the build-up to the Iraq war. Remember, if you said, no, I don't agree with the Iraq war, what did that make you? They called me a terrorist sympathizer. And people were calling on me to be censored. In fact, I was turned in to the FBI 3 different times because I opposed the Iraq war. So the kind of people who today are saying, I'm against the Iraq war, but I believe Trump and I trust him no matter what because he's King Cyrus reincarnated and it's 4D chess and he can do no wrong, and praise Trump, give me some more of the Trump Kool-Aid. You people are going to be the same ones coming for people like me because you're Nazis. You have the Nazi ideology. Censorship, you're like the Gestapo, the brown shirts that go around and beat the hell out of people who opposed Hitler. Did Jake just say Donald Trump's Hitler? No, but I drew a comparison. But it really wasn't a comparison about Donald Trump. It was more a comparison about you people who look at this stuff like John Bolton and you come to the conclusion that it's okay. Donald Trump knows what he's doing. This is a sneaky 4D chess strategy to root out the globalists by bringing them all into his cabinet. Please. I am so disgusted. I guess you guys can see it. I am disgusted with this. Even though I predicted this, I guess I had this hope that it wouldn't actually happen. We are going to go to war with Iran. Guaranteed. Guaranteed war with Iran. And it's not justified. This is the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the Warburgs, the Schiffs, the Bushes, and all of these neocons, all of these Zionists who wanted to take control through Hillary. They wanted to come in and take control. Guess what? Took them a year, but they got the White House anyway. So that's all I have to say about that. For Blackstone Intelligence, I'm Jake Morphonios.